Hi, my name is Cici. Today I will read the diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Meltdown. If you think it's good, write on the comments. If you think it's not good, it's okay. Okay, let's start. Usually Grandma cranks up the heat when she's home. It's so warm that you have to eat your ice cream sandwich with the freezer drawer open or the ice cream will melt in your hands. The first thing I did when we got inside Grandma's was turn up the thermostat. It was taking a while for the house to heat up, though, so I turned on the oven and we warmed up in a hurry. Grandma had a bunch of snacks in her refrigerator, and me and Riley helped ourselves, but while we were eating, we saw some movement outside the front window. It was Mr. Neil, Grandma's Snoopy next door neighbor. She must have noticed the light from the refrigerator, and now she was trying to see inside. We stayed out of the sight and eventually Mr. McNeil went away. But now I knew we had to be careful because I really didn't need to call the cops. So we got down low and went into the living room where Grandma has her TV. Grandma has all the cable channels, and luckily she didn't shut those down for the winter. But we could risk tracking Mr. McNeil again, so we put the blanket and covered us and opened the TV and looked. I guess we kind of lost track of time because when we shut the TV, it was dark out. But now it was nice and toasty in Grandma's house, and I really didn't want to go back there in the cold, so I had an idea for how to make the walk home a little comfortable. Do you know how they make it comfortable? Let's see. I figured if we warmed up our clothes in Grandma's dryer before we had back out, it would take the edge off for the rest of the trip. So we went down to the basement where Grandma keeps her laundry machines and put in our clothes. We set the timer to 30 minutes and waited, but it was a little awkward hanging out in our underwear while we were dryer did its thing. Plus, it was cold in the basement, so we looked around for something to wear. Riley found a sweatshirt I gave Mama for her birthday, and he put that on, but I hadn't feel to put Grandma's clothes on. Found the sweater that Grandma knits for Sweetie, and it fits better than I expected, but it was a little itchy, and I couldn't remember if Sweetie ever had a fleece. But while I was looking around for something to swap it with, we heard a noise upstairs. My first thought was the Grandma had given Mr. McNeil a key to the house, and now she was inside. But Riley said it might be a burglar who knew no one was home, and I thought maybe he was right. We heard some more stomping around upstairs, and when the doors to the basement opened, we both freaked out. I looked around for something to use to defend myself, but the best I could come up with was a toilet blanket. Riley grabbed a can of lemon just spray and one of the Grandma's handbag, and then we heard footsteps coming down the stairs. We braced ourselves. The footsteps... Sorry, I said it wrong. Let's say it again. The footsteps paused when they got near the bottom. And that's when we made our move. It turned out it wasn't Mr. McNeil, and it wasn't a burglar, and either it was Mom. She was there to do a load of laundry since our washing machine has broken. Mom said we didn't have much time to see here, so Mom says we need to drive home. So Mom take us to home, and Riley is already at home. I figured out that as soon as Riley was out of the car, Mom was gonna yell at me for being at Grandma's house without permission, but they didn't anything, and she didn't mention it to Dad during dinner either. After I finished doing the dishes, Mom told me she wasn't to have a talk in my room. She said it was perfectly normal for boys my age to play make-believe, and that there was nothing to feel ashamed of. Then she said she was glad me and Riley were using our imagination instead of playing video games. I have no idea what Mom thought we were doing in Grandma's house. But to be honest with you, I kind of wish Mom would just ground at me. Ew. February, Wednesday. It's been snowing for the past few days, and last night we got another inch and a half. Unfortunately, this wasn't enough to close school, and even if snowed a bit more, then that's I don't think they would have given us the day off. We only get a certain amount of snow days each year, and if we use them all, then we have to make up from them during the summer holidays. And we've already been through most of our snow days. So even though some of them technology were used by of snow. In December, the school shuts down for 3 days because of a lice epidemic. What happened was that Lily Bundener came to school when he had lice, but I guess she didn't know when they spread. Then she took pictures with her friends. If we're sitting in a hot classroom in July, I guess we can all thank Lily for taking selfies. Sometimes when it snows in the morning, they'll give us a half day. But I'm not a big fan of half days because we still have to walk all the way just to put in a few hours at school. What really stinks is when the school looks like it was weather forecast and decide in advance that the next day is gonna be a half day. On a half day, the school schedule is the same, but everything takes half the day. That goes for the nation, too. And all the bullies in our school know what are we doing, so they punish us. Sometimes school gets cancelled because it's supposed to snow, and that doesn't just supposed to be. And I think it's not good for me because I hate to be sick. On New Year's Eve, he said it was gonna be the t-shirt and short weather the next day, but then it snowed 3 inches, and then the people saw him at the grocery store, then let him know they were happy. Honestly, I don't see how this guy still had a job, but I guess as long as people like my parents tune in every night, he's not going anywhere.